Have you wished you had a do-over for a first impression, or wondered what some of our common behaviors say about us? Listening is the beginning of understanding, so listen to this list of 6 things that can reveal a lot about someone. Number 1. How they treat service workers. How we treat others, particularly service workers in the fields of retail and hospitality, seems to be at the forefront of many stories today, and not usually painting the customer in a flattering light. Why is this such an indicator of how someone carries themselves? As a customer, we are in a position of power. Associates are serving us in some form, and there is a long-held belief that the customer is always right. Lord Acton famously said that power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This corruption can play out in this scenario. Customers that are rude or otherwise demeaning to service workers can be indications of low empathy, integrity, and respect. Customers who instead are courteous, show themselves to be aware, empathetic, giving, and generally kind. Want to work on improving this in your own life? Use your cashier or service person's name tag. Taking the time to say "Thank you, Mary" shows your respect for their assistance and hopefully brightens their day. You'll be surprised at how caught off guard service associates are when you use their names. Number 2. The way they walk. How do you enter a room? Do you walk in like you own the place, or do you slink in and stay tucked in the corner? Neither is wrong, so don't worry if you identify, but it does put certain personality traits on display for those observant enough to notice. That's not to say that changing personalities is as easy as changing up your gait, but they will likely be someone's first impression of you, and you can help set your desired impression by knowing the assumptions. Fast walkers often denote extroverted personalities, while strollers may be lost in deep thought. Walking into a room with purpose towards a person or place usually exudes confidence. Here's a tangible example. Former President Barack Obama, walking into the room, he exudes confidence. He is attention-grabbing and influential, yet friendly and entirely focused on those he interacts with. He's probably nervous somewhere under there, but displays the power and confidence. Number 3. How they respond to good news from others. This might seem like a strange indicator of what a person is like, but it can be quite telling. Imagine this scenario. You've just gotten engaged to your long-term partner. You, not surprisingly, want to share the news with those closest to you. Friend after friend gushes with you over the information and shares in your excitement. Then you tell one last friend. This person surprises you by commenting, "Man, I'll never find someone to marry." Instead of making sure the focus is on sharing in your joy, this friend has twisted your good news into a bitter moment for themselves. Not only is this an awkward situation to respond to, but it shows that person is in a self-serving mindset. Maybe they recently went through a breakup, and this behavior is atypical, or perhaps jealousy is their typical reaction and is instead an indicator that they do not lead with empathy. Number 4. Social media accounts or presence. Social media can provide an endless supply of information. How we filter ourselves on social media offers significant insights into people's passions, values, and priorities. We certainly don't suggest digging too deeply into someone's life, but you can undoubtedly spot common interests or compelling details that you'd love to hear about in person. If someone has a larger social media footprint, perhaps they rely on platforms like YouTube or Twitch for an income and have thousands or millions of followers. How they interact with commenters serves as a barometer of their personality. Do they interact at all? Perhaps they try to maintain a strict boundary between work and personal. Do they mediate inflammatory comments and thank loyal subscribers? This goes back to how people treat service workers. The creator is in a position of power to impact their subscribers for better or worse. Number 5. Eye contact. When speaking or being spoken to, watch eye contact for yourself or others. Those who maintain solid eye contact signal that they are actively paying attention to the speaker and are interested. On the other end of the spectrum, those who breaks eye contact may be showing they are nervous, uncomfortable, or distracted. Shyness could also be a factor. Shy people may not be able to make prolonged eye contact. Eye contact with dilated pupils reveals desire and arousal, but can also indicate drug use. Squinting may suggest distrust, and excessive blinking points to distress or nervousness. Number 6. Handshake. Like eye contact, a person's handshake is usually a direct person-to-person indicator of how someone feels or chooses to approach the situation. Handshakes are a few physical indicators that can alter a person's first impression. Imagine that you notice someone enter the room at a party, slightly hunched over, and immediately make a beeline for the food station. You might assume this person is shy or doesn't know many people, choosing to make themselves appear smaller. You then have an opportunity to meet them. They shake your hand, and they have a firm, vigorous handshake. Perhaps you had it wrong. You discover this person is a close friend of the host, but arrived late after a long day at work. They were starving, hence the reason for the focus on the food. There are several components of a handshake: duration, dryness of the hand, strength, grip style, and eye contact. Next time you shake someone's hand, take note of how each of you participates and what you assume about each other as a result. If you stuck around this long, welcome to the bonus round. A Reddit user posited that grocery carts represent the ultimate litmus test for a person's ability to self-govern for good. The theory is simple but telling. We all know that returning a grocery cart, either to its storefront or designated return areas, is the right thing to do. So, why doesn't everyone do it? There is no personal gain in returning the cart. So, doing it simply, because it's the morally correct thing to do, is a strong indicator of how that person might act in other situations. If you haven't already, like this video and ring the bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks for joining me, and remember, a healthy mind is worth its weight in gold.